Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back for the OPTC video, and in today's video is episode 4 of the starting OPTC guide, playthrough, and beginner's story. And in today's video, we're focusing on clashes and box management with SugoFest 9th anniversary around the corner, as well as a lot of characters in this game. I have released a rare recruit tier list, as well as a bunch of other tier lists for you guys to figure out what characters to summon for and what characters you guys want to keep. But for the Chopper Man missions, you do have to farm up particular clash characters. Now, over at the Recollective Archive, you can unlock these clashes, and as you guys saw there, we actually unlocked Mihawk as our first Recollective Archive clash, and then you actually want to clear the Mihawk quest to not only get the Recollective Archive points started, but to also clear the missions, so that way you can build up your master missions as well. Now, when it comes to these missions, there are a couple of them to actually do particular clashes, and most of the time you're actually going to unlock these from the Recollective Archive. It starts with Mihawk, and then it moves on to stuff like Kuma, Bellamy, Ivankov, Magellan, Caesar, and once you've done these quests, you'll finish off the clash-based section of the Master Chopper Man missions. Every time you do complete these quests, you get 10 copies of the character from the clash. All of these characters are kind of mid, besides maybe Dofi and Mihawk, which work great for Rumble. Bellamy's a great Rumble character as well. Kuma is okay. The Caesar, the Magellan, like they're not terrible characters, but they're not characters that I would farm up. I would just get your 2 copies from your guaranteed drops, and then take the 10 copies and actually feed the copies in. These clashes are not hard. They are super easy to do, but if you guys would like me to put out like a video series of them, I'd be happy to do so there as well. But Mihawk is the first one. Once you do Mihawk, you get 10 copies of the character, and then you can actually utilize the 10 copies to trigger this particular event here. Another part of the master missions needs you to get particular characters to special level 6 or higher, and using these clash characters is the easiest way to do that. So every time you finish the clash, you'll get the copies of the character, you feed the copies of the character in, you get this particular mission done, and you have to do it a bunch of times. Once you've done one clash, you can head back over to the Recollective Archive, you can use more of these points, and then you can unlock more characters. However, as I said in the last episode, unfortunately, you only get 200 Recollective Archive points. Now, if you scroll down here, down the bottom, the Mihawk Clash is worth 20 Clash points, or sorry, Recollective Archive points, and so is Bellamy, and then so is Ivankov. But once you start getting up to these harder clashes, after that, you move on to Kuma, who is 60 cost, Boa, Dofi is all 60 cost, and then, I think, yeah, Magellan and Caesar are all 60 cost there. Once you move up here to your hard clashes, your 80-point clashes, all of these particular clashes are going to be very challenging for your account. So, I wouldn't worry about these per se. A lot of these are the better free-to-play characters, but these are sort of clashes that when you see pop up on Extra Island, that you're probably going to struggle with. When you see all of these clashes, though, pop up on Extra Island, they're going to be very easy to farm, and honestly, you can farm these particular quests with the free-to-play weekly clash cycle. If you head over to Extra Island, and you head to Events, and hit on the Clash tab, every day, there'll be a different type that is boosted. Now, today is the Psy Day, which means that you can get Psy manuals on Extra Island, and all of the clashes are going to be of the Psy variety. Now, as you can see, I've kind of cleared out a lot of these clashes because it's just an easy way to pick up a gem. Like, it's just you do the 2 levels and you can pick up a gem, and you also get a butt ton of pirate XP. Like, you get a shit ton of pirate XP by doing these. And remember, every time you do an event, the first time, it's free stamina. If you want to farm the character after that, it is going to cost stamina. If you have a full stamina bar, feel free to use that, because it is going to help you get up those pirate levels. But remember, once you get to these back end of these clashes, they are going to be very challenging, especially the 60 stamina variation. So you might need to look up some guides on how to beat these actual clashes. As the days go on and you actually start unlocking your Recollective Archive points, you are going to continuously unlock this particular mission right here where you have to spend Recollective Archive points. As I mentioned though, you only get 200 per day, so this is going to take a little bit of time, unfortunately, especially for new players where you don't have access to the tomes. So just be mindful of that and sort of just take this at your own pace. Once you hit the master missions, things do start to slow down, and obviously you start to take the game day by day. But just sort of just have fun with it. Start clearing out some content, get a feel for stuff, different debuffs, get a feel for different buffs in the game. As the Straw Hats, the Psy Straw Hats are actually getting their level limit break tomorrow, as of me recording this video. So that team gets a lot stronger, and have a playthrough of some harder content, like I said, just to get a feel for what the game can throw at you. So once you've completed these clashes that you need to do for the Master Chopperman missions, what do you do with your Recollective Archive points? Well, what I've been doing is I've been heading over to the Colosseum tab, and I've actually been starting to work on some of these Colosseums. Basically, these Colosseums aren't exactly the hardest piece of content in the world, but they're still not the easiest piece of content in the world either. These particular Colosseums here take 50 to unlock, so now you can pretty much do 4 a day, and this is just going to help build up your gems. It's going to help build up your EXP, and it also triggers that very annoying Recollective Archive point mission, so that way you can actually get your Masterman missions done. However, if you're super busy for the day and you don't have the time to do this, you can easily just unlock 2 of these 100 quests, so that way you're still using your points to get those Chopperman missions done a lot faster. Besides those clashes and using Recollective Archive points for Chopperman missions, the only other thing you guys really need to do is do the Forest of Training Hawk, Sun, Beard, Pheasant, and Kami, and Fire Fist. Basically the very easy Forest of Trainings. I think it goes up to Pheasant with the Chopperman missions. And all of these are very, very easy. Once you get towards the back end of these forests though, like Straw and Magnetic, it starts to get very, very challenging. Especially the Straw and Magnetic, they're classified as 2 as the hardest piece of content in the game. Even for new players, stuff like the Mama and the Fire Tank one's going to be very challenging. However, with the Straw Hat crew team, you can actually get the forest done fairly nicely for your Chopperman missions. I have literally just been using the Straw Hat characters to clear everything, and anything you guys can get from the free section, as you can see, like I'm using the Straw Hats, you're going to be able to clear the content. So we're going to fast forward to the end of the Mihawk Forest just to show you guys that this is very, very doable. So the big difference to forests than regular content is forests actually have 20 stages. That's what makes them so challenging. The first 10 stages are super fodder stages, very, very easy to complete. However, the last 10, or from 10 to 20, can be fairly challenging. And when you need to use your specials on every single stage, it does make each stage more and more pressure-filled, and makes it a little bit more challenging when you do need particular damage output or different utility. And characters that have that built into their kit and have different abilities like switch abilities can be super, super valuable for these harder pieces of content. However, as I mentioned, the forests they want you to do early are still very, very simple. And just with some simple game time and some simple play time, you guys will be able to beat this. It might take you a couple tries, it might take you a couple runs. You might be still learning about sockets and learning about abilities, and learning about what different debuffs the game is going to throw at you. But playing the game is going to be the best way to do this. Asking questions, joining the help tab on the Discord, and all of these places are going to point you in the right direction. But as you can see, the Straw Hat crew has no issues getting this done, the Psy Straw Hats, and this team is about to get even stronger. Like, just for new players, this team is just a god tier team that can get you through a lot of this content very, very easily. Once you start polishing off some of these missions for stuff like clashes and the forests and evolving characters, special leveling characters, activating Recollective Archive points, doing your PvP every single day, clearing out every mission on the event island to get stuff like your daily gems, your daily manuals, your daily turtles, you are going to start building an array of characters. You do build out some more rookie recruit missions, you get gold tickets, you get red tickets, and all of these characters that you've been picking up from stuff like clashes, all these characters that you've been picking up from these rewards, they are going to start compiling in your box. And as box management, I would highly recommend keeping one of every single character. Keeping one of every single character means that when push comes to shove and you need a particular unit, you are going to have them readily available in your box, especially the characters that are pullable or the gold tickets slash red tickets, you definitely don't want to sell these. If you accidentally sell free-to-play farmable characters, that's not the end of the world, because you can just always go back and do it again. However, it can be a little bit annoying having to repeat content over and over and over and over again, when really you don't want to. The game has done a pretty good job to make it a lot less grindy. However, there is still a grindy aspect to the game in terms of leveling up, farming out abilities, stuff like sockets and tablets and special levels to actually max out a lot of these particular characters. So make sure you're doing all your daily stuff, and make sure you are keeping at least one of every character. Check out some tier lists, check out some farmable pages. Like, I have a whole bunch of tier lists for new players coming out, always around anniversary and New Year's. So make sure to go check them out if you're concerned if this character's good or this character's bad. Hopefully they'll help you out and point you in the right direction of what characters you want to either level up and what characters that you really want to focus on and make sure that you are keeping. Also, it can give you an idea of what characters are worth selling. Rayleigh's Bazaar has a lot of really good items, and nowadays is a really good resource place to pick up a lot of very good resources as a new player. So selling characters isn't the end of the world. However, just be mindful, if you do sell characters and they are a summonable character, it may take a little while to see them again. As for summing free-to-play characters, it's going to get you Rayleigh points, it's going to help you out doing stuff like Ground and Pound Usopp and those other 15 stamina or 5 stamina quests is the best place to get them. So start building up your character box, and we can talk about how we're going to manage that. Ooh, pudding. When it comes to leveling up your account though, and getting those Rayleigh points, the best place to do that is over in the rookie character recruitment. Now, I spoke about this tab on day 1, or in the very first episode, to make sure that you guys cleared this out, because you can pick up a lot of very easy to farm characters here. Not only that, but you can pick up a lot of Hime turtles, and this is easily the best place to farm out XP for your account. As you guys saw in the master missions, you do need to get your account to level 250, so that way you can get up all of those gold tickets that you guys saw in that previous clip, as well as all of the red tickets to bolster your account. Obviously, everyone's tickets are going to be different, but with the rookie support tickets, they have an array of characters that everyone is going to pull as well. So hopefully you manage to get stuff like Usahachi and Pudding and Kaku, Marco, Alvida. These are all very, very good characters. And as for your reds, hopefully you picked up some pretty good reds there as well. Something to the note is that there's always tier lists floating around of what characters are really, really good. Take them all with a grain of salt, even my own tier list if I'm completely honest with you, because not everyone's opinion is going to satisfy everyone's opinion. So just be mindful of that. But hopefully it lets you guys know what's worth leveling up and if you want to spend resources on them. These quests though, like GPU and stuff like that, are really, really good to farm, especially with Luffy and the Pirate XP ship at the moment, because as you can see, they give you a lot of XP, and it's going to help you get to that 250 mark very, very easy. On top of that, if you actually need to get the level up quest done, you can use these manuals to pump into a character like Ground and Pound Usopp to actually get the rest of them done if you're struggling with regular characters. Just like those Clash characters that we spoke about earlier, feeding the copies in, getting the character to level 6, getting their special level up, you can easily do this with these particular characters that you find over on that extra island as well. You can put the dupes in, which will guarantee you a level, and if you're playing in the first 1,000 hours, you will have guaranteed special level ups. That's going to guarantee you to get to level 6 with these particular characters, and it's also going to help trigger these particular missions for your Chopper Man quests to get 3 characters or 2 characters or whatever it is up to special level 6 or higher. As you can see, you need to do this a couple of times, so you might need to farm these characters, and if you are just farming XP, you can sell them to the Rayleigh's Bazaar, and then that way you can actually start building up your training points to head over here and actually trade them for goodies. Now, we'll go through Rayleigh's Bazaar in another episode. But as you can see here, there's a lot of really good items. There's red tickets. There's a whole bunch of Rumble Scrolls. You can get stuff like tomes. You can get stuff like cotton candy, manuals, belly, like I said, forbidden tomes, lobsters, particular ships, which are really, really valuable as well. So there are a lot of really good stuff here, and farming out those characters and just straight out selling them is going to help you attain these rewards. The final thing we're going to talk about today is box management. Now, when it comes to farming out all of the characters in One Piece Treasure Cruise, as well as doing summons and picking up gold tickets and red tickets from rewards, your box is going to fill up pretty darn fast. Now, you start with 500 box space, and as you can see, like, I'm already pushing 400, which means that we're kind of getting to a spot where we're going to have to either start making some really hard decisions in characters that we sell, or we're either going to have to start feeding in copies so that way we can make more box space, or we're going to have to sell some copies to Rayleigh's Bazaar to sort of open up some box space. Characters like that Markino that's sitting there, we can definitely sell her. There's other characters like the Shanks that we started with, pretty useless character that we can definitely sell as well. There's an Iron there that I can see, a Kaku that can go into another Kaku. And these characters you don't really need in the early stages. However, as I mentioned, I would highly recommend saving one of every single character, so that way you don't actually have to worry about losing a character that might be handy, or you see in a video or a team, or needed for a content later down the line. Needing to buy box space is something that you're eventually going to come across. It's something that you're eventually going to have to do. So never be upset with yourself if you have to buy box space. If it's something that you have to do, if it's a hurdle you have to cross, you're eventually going to have to cross it anyway. And it's a very important thing that I would remember. But every time you kind of go through your box, remember to like sell. If we go like this, hang on. Remember, every now and again, you do need to go through your box. As you can see, I have a whole bunch of Brook characters there that need to be fed in. We can sell this Usopp. We can sell these particular characters here. Have a bunch of Enels that I need to farm in. And this is sort of like bad box management. Like, I am a very lazy box cleaner. But there are a lot of other people that find a lot of joy in doing stuff like this. So don't be afraid to clean out your box every now and again, because you do want to make sure that you are feeding copies in, getting rid of stuff like excess manuals that you don't need, selling a whole bunch of like free-to-play characters that you're probably never going to use, or putting those copies, like you can see with Caesar and Aokiji and Luffy, into each other. But like I said, remember to keep one of every single unit, as if you don't, and that unit comes around to being very, very good, or a character that you definitely need, you are going to be kicking yourself later down the line. As you can see, we're getting 12 training points for just selling these characters, mainly from Ground and Pound Usopp, if I'm completely honest with you. But that'll reduce your box space. It allows you to do more summons, farm more characters, and pick up more tickets. That's going to wrap it up for today's episode. A bit of a shorter one, well, kind of a shorter one, but a more of an informative one on farming clashes, getting some more Chopper Man missions done, and keeping your box nice and tidy. We will be summoning on this account tomorrow, probably like just under 24 hours from now. So make sure to come check out the stream at twitch.tv/StumpDGacha if you guys want to check out the stream. As you can see, I have almost 800 gems on this account, and we'll probably grind some more up tomorrow. Then on top of the rewards and stuff, we should sit just shy of 1,000. And we will be doing 6 multis on part 1 of the anniversary banner, so make sure to come check that out. Let me know how you guys are going if you are starting your journey in OPTC, or if you're an existing player, sort of just checking out the journey as well. Let me know in the comment section below. While you're down there, don't forget to belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, though, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.